Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Aging Journey podcast, where we explore the strange and unusual experiences of growing up in time in various systems, as well as provide a safe space for diverse role players to explore aging and other lived experiences, unite diverse communities, and decrease social isolation through online gameplay. Today, I have Static Pan, Lynn, and Benji playing a Kids Campin campaign. I am your GM, TanyaLashea, and you can catch this game and all our other games just like it on our YouTube channel. Our socials and content warnings will be in the description of this video. I will do a recap of last week's episode after I run the intro, which I forgot to do last week, but I'm remembering now. So run the intro. Me. Yeah, I have to click the button. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Let's go ahead and get our players on the board. As I just quickly do a recap of our last episode of Happy Camper. So, you all attended your early afternoon classes and, of course, your morning classes, if you had them, breakfast, et cetera, the day before, where we're going to start up one full day after. Juni and Hayden, you investigated the forest, only kind of like immediately got caught or got lost because you were following sounds of campers' voices deeper into the forest, but you actually never got like a response. You just kept calling out and you kept going deeper in. You eventually turned around, but you tried to escape this kind of never-ending forest by having Juni use her broom. And you were able to escape, but you were immediately caught. And you were caught by, we can call him a stocky, older gentleman that you learned whose name is Grim. During this altercation, Juni, you faked a panic attack to get out of being in trouble, where both Mickey and Mrs. Angelique were called. Miss Angelique covered for you, and Hayden, you witnessed a strange interaction between Miss Angelique and Juni. Meanwhile, all this is happening. Ebb and Gia attended your Chimeric Creatures class, where you immediately tried to befriend an unusual ancient creature in the lake, and were actually successful, actually becoming friends with this kind of part translucent, part invisible snake eel creature. It slithered into Ebb's backpack for safekeeping, and you two literally took it back to camp. Neither Ebb or Gia actually learned anything in class, including all of the very clear warnings that Mr. Van Glow was giving. So after you guys went back to camp to try to set up a bit of a little sleeping situation for your new friend, Juni and Hayden went to the snack shack and got about $214 worth of food that you guys should be able to snack on and eat for the rest of your stay, at least for the week. And you all came back to the camp, learned about this creature, and settled in for a nice long sleep. And the next morning, when you all woke up, the creature was as expected, to be honest, gone from the pool that Ebb had secured. All of the food had been consumed that had just been bought. And by really great rolls, to be honest, Gia befriended this now transformed ancient creature that kind of looks like a huge kind of silvery fat worm who is also invisible, who has kind of like a head full of teeth, skinny legs with sharp claws, and large bat wings. It basically looks like a chubby imp. Luckily, it's still invisible, as it was sitting on Gia's shoulder. And during an investigation of what you are hoping to understand about this creature, you learn that it is called the carnivorous silver. But there's not really much known about it, except for it's a very ancient creature. It obviously lives in the lake, and there's not a lot of information on what it is or its transformation cycle. Realizing that all of your food has been eaten by the creature, but it did give up Ebb's mother's necklace. You all weren't really sure what to do. And so we actually left the episode off with you all pondering what the next best course of action will be. As the bells ring across camp, you have 10 more days until the bus returns to take you all home. What are we now doing?
I have breakfast first in the morning. I don't know what everybody else has.
It's Tuesday. I also have breakfast.
Juniper has totem combat early in the morning.
Ooh.
And Hayden's got dream walking first thing in the morning.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Right.
Ebb and Gia unsupervised again immediately.
Are you all wanting to go to your classes? And Ebb, you said you're already going to breakfast.
Yeah, I have breakfast in my first slot. Early morning slot.
And then Hayden, you said you have
Dream walking.
Dream walking. What's that stat?
That one is charm.
Okay. Gia?
I also have breakfast.
Okay. And then Juniper.
Totem combat, which is fight, and Lord knows I need it.
Please don't die again.
Please don't die again.
I hope not.
Okay. So are you all deciding to go to your respective morning activities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Maybe.
What are you gonna do?
Okay. Then let's start with Juni, since you are going to a fight class and you have already, of course, met the fight teacher in that original experience, let's call it.
Same lady?
It's the same lady.
You know where I'm going to end up after this?
Miss Gilda, as she likes to be referred to. I think at this fight class, though, it's a bit different. I think the last one was more just kind of like getting the training wheels off. She was basically assessing everyone, like where they were. And so when you walk in, you kind of already see that she has a bit of a schedule up, and people are paired off. So if you look at the schedule, you can see there's a couple of girls that are also already around it, and there are some other campers that have already gone off to find like their person. But it's basically just like, this is going to be your partner for the class. So let's see who's going to be your partner.
Everyone in camp is my friend now, so.
That is true. let's say Melissa is your partner.
And she was that lovely girl I talked to at the campfire, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Great.
charming Melissa. She's also quite popular at camp. Yesterday, and I don't know if I even really described her, she is going for the like top tier prep look, right? So even with like the tied sweater, even though it's like 87 degrees outside, over the shoulders. Okay. She's wearing like black Mary Janes, perfectly white socks, and like a cute little pink two set. And I'll say she also has very like, it clearly she has curled her hair this morning. You know what I mean? So it's like long and wavy and not a strand out of place. She has clearly been there early, already looked at the list, and is kind of standing waiting for you.
I go up to her and I'm like, looks like we're partnered together.
I know. I already looked at the list. I'm not sure if you brought like your like battle attire, but I have like a little something that's like extra if you'd like to use in your mind. I know you're from, public school, so I didn't know if you like had anything. Do you like fence? Do you have like a weapon or?
No, we don't really fight. Like this, where I'm from, you'll end up in jail. So.
Oh my gosh, what's jail? You know what? Tell me all about it while we get ready. And she just takes your hand and you guys go off. You are in the arena. Actually, let me pull up the map so you can see where you're at. You guys are in the large arena, which is south of the nurse's tent. And this is where fight class usually is most days. But today you guys actually get to use like the locker rooms to like get dressed, to get ready. And people are putting on like armor. They have like duffel bags full of like stuff, like knives and a crossbow. This looks a bit intense. Go ahead and roll your grit to see how you're kind of dealing with this. That she kind of just pulls you along. She's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much fun. And she's just kind of talking your ear off without really paying attention to how you're like experiencing as you guys are walking past all of these much more experienced people at this type of thing. So go ahead and roll your grit. I think the DC for this is gonna be a 6.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. I'm going to use an adversity token to make it. I got a 5. So I'll use an adversity token to make it a 6.
Okay. Let's say, unfortunately and fortunately, you have seen some of these before. They're kind of like, smaller daggers. You're seeing like a couple of like metal lighters. You do see a crossbow, and you have seen that before because they have that at the archery range. So it's nothing like crazy, except it's nothing like when you were here the other day and you literally were holding a huge like great sword, essentially like medieval. They all seem to be fairly like modern. They also don't seem to be like sharp. You can clearly see that they're like blunted, or they're used for practice essentially. It's just that everyone here has either taken this class at some point or is fairly familiar with what you would need for it. But as you get pulled into like one of the sections of the locker room, you see that Melissa has her bag, pink, of course, and she unzips it. And in that, there's like some different things. There's some clothes, but there's also like a little like a arm brace that she hands to you, and she hands you a couple of different things. And she's just kind of talking your ear off, but you kind of get the sense as you're walking through that everyone thinks this is fun. Like this doesn't seem to be like serious. Nobody seems to be interested in like trying to hurt anyone. So I think initially you were kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird, but I think you're kind of understanding that while this is different, it's almost as if you've joined, you know, a boxing club or like a fun gym that has like really interesting activities. So you're a little more calm than you usually would as Melissa kind of gears you up. And we will leave you there unless you want to do anything else.
No, I think she just, you know, changes into, I think she did bring like a, you know, her gym bag of like extra clothes for like activities like this. And so she's changing into it and just like listening to Melissa because that's her new friend. And she's like, it's really thoughtful that she has some armor that, you know, she can wear. And I think Juni is, as much as Melissa is talking her ear off, Juni is also engaging in conversation as much as she can.
Would there be anyone else who might be taking this class that you would know here, other than the new friends you've made?
I don't think so, because Juni kind of came to this camp not knowing anybody.
Go ahead and actually, I'm not going to roll for Melissa because she doesn't have stats, but you can roll. Let me see if you can roll a brains roll real quick. DC is going to be, I think it's going to be a 7.
That's so great because my brains is a D8. Oh, wonderful.
You could make it. Oh, did you already roll?
Yeah, I said I got an 8.
Oh, you got an 8. You can tell that Melissa she's giving queen bee. And by that, you can kind of tell that while you have become very popular, simply by her talking to you, other people around you are also kind of gravitating towards both of you. You know, they're just coming in and out of your conversations. They're just kind of like around. When they like walk past, they like kind of sidestep. And you can kind of tell that it is specifically to get close to Melissa. Like they like you, but then they see that you're talking to Melissa, and so they kind of want in. You're just not sure why.
Gotcha.
So we'll leave you there as you get ready for your fight class. And we will go and see what Hayden is doing in your class. Hayden, you said it was charm.
Yeah.
I think, let me look at my notes. I think you would meet your charm your charm teacher, right where these like little vine gates are that go towards the dunes.
Okay.
I think you would meet you would kind of see people standing there waiting for their charm teacher, who you have not yet met.
Not the pleasure to meet him yet.
But you can kind of see they're just kind of there, just kind of standing, waiting for him to arrive so that he can take you guys to your location. So as you kind of stand there, you can kind of see that some of the other campers some of them look like really tired. A couple of them look like they have been like kind of wired already from like breakfast. They're like really excited. And then there is one person, let's call them Cleo. And this is a young satyr. But she has kind of like instead of like a brown fur on her hooves, her fur is bright white. And she's sort of just kind of standing alone off to the side a little bit, just kind of like watching, but not talking to anyone, while everyone kind of waits. While you are standing, though, there, you can see very clearly, because now you're pretty close, you can see the dunes. So these dunes are large, but they look deceivingly small, right? You can kind of see that they're really hilly and they're very, very sandy. And from afar, very beautiful. And then right in front of them, kind of tucked in between two of the hills of sand, you can kind of see the top of a building that is far off in the distance.
He would take a chance, kind of just nonchalantly, kind of like wandering through folks, but getting a little closer to where Cleo is, and just kind of stands like nonchalantly, like next to, but like not wanting to be obvious. Seems a little obvious for dream walking class to just go off in the middle of the kind of makeshift desert, isn't it?
She doesn't look over at you with her whole face. She just kind of like side glances at you, and she does that sort of like little 2 feet shuffle in place to kind of show a little bit of nervousness, but also she is wearing like an oversized t-shirt where it like hangs on one side off her shoulder a little bit, but that is her only clothing. And so you can kind of see that she has a bit of a goat tail that kind of like goes up in, whatever, you're not really sure what that emotion is unless you'd like to try to read that as you talk to her. She kind of just looks over at you. Oh, yes, it's I do also think that what you just said. And she looks away hurriedly.
This guy's kind of it's a very quiet, small laugh to himself. He's like, I'm sorry if you just wanted to be left alone. I'm Hayden.
She puts out a little hand to kind of shake yours. Cleo, I'm here at the camp, as you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking. And she got her voice just kind of trails off, as if you can clearly see that she's just having a hard time socializing.
Just kind of shakes her hands like, that's good, right? Going to be on the quieter side too.
As you guys are having this quiet conversation, literally right in front of everyone, something bursts out of the sand and it flies everywhere, and people are freaking out because it's like getting in their eyes and their hair. It's so many granules of sand from this huge burst of whatever has literally emerged from under the sand. And essentially what you're seeing is basically like a 7-foot tall someone who is wearing like head to toe like a large like black like veiled robe with the little not sunglasses, but like goggles that are also over his face. And then he also has like a half mask that is covering the bottom half of his mouth. And his robe sort of like flitters as all the sand goes out. And once it settles and you all are able to look at this person, the goggles come up and he just goes, "Welcome, everyone. If you are new, my name is Van Glow, and I shall be your instructor for the day. This sand is a precious commodity here. So I want everyone to get on their knees and really just feel the sand. Get right in there. I want everyone's hands into the sand. All right? So everyone should be getting on their knees, everyone's hands into the sand. And he's just kind of doing the motion of what he wants to see, which is everyone like kind of pushing their hands into the sand and letting the sand kind of like just get all up under the fingernails and onto the hands. And everyone just kind of slowly starts to do this, very confused, but also like, what else are you supposed to do? And Cleo also, who was just kind of gobsmacked at this, kind of looks over at you and then starts to kneel because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
And he goes, yes. So I'm sure you can all feel it, right? It hums. This is very, very important for today's class, which is, and he kind of takes out a piece of paper from underneath his cloak. Oh, dream walking. Excellent. Right. Well, we are going to do just a very short 5-mile walk up to the second dune to the left here into the ruins. That should take us just a few minutes here. We're going to do some exercises there, talk a little bit about dreams and the nature of the dunes. And then on your way back, we'll do a bit of a trust exercise. So if everyone wants to just follow me, and instead of turning around and walking, he disappears. He like poofs. And everyone's just standing there looking at each other. Like, what? How, are we supposed to walk? What's, am I so, are we, I'm sorry, we were supposed to learn a spell before we, everyone's just really confused. Some of the kids just start walking into the desert with no water or provisions. What are you doing?
Just kind of taking, just like, additionally, just trying to process all of that.
Yeah. So with Cleo, she's just kind of like, I guess we just, and she sees people begin to walk, and she's like, I guess we just find our way there. This is my first class with him. I've been told he's a touch eccentric, so
Yeah.
maybe we should just follow along.
Probably.
And everyone walks into the desert. As you all are making your way to this, you can really only see the top of this building that is where he did say it was, which is kind of on the second dune. These dunes are not very high, so you all are able to walk to like the edge of the dunes, walk up the first dune, and then make your way to this building that is deceptively much bigger when you actually get to it. It is in ruin, though. It's clearly a huge concrete, what used to be a tower, but it is now just a crumbling mess. And you're not 100% sure what you could possibly do in this place, but here you are. And Cleo and the other campers are kind of also just kind of looking at this relic of the age in awe, but also looking around for their teacher, who has not yet shown himself. So everyone's once again quite confused.
I mean, I've had some odd tutors in my time, but this is a whole new level.
Cleo kind of, you see her get on, and she doesn't really get on her knees, but she crouches down close enough to where she can put her hands into the sand, just like you guys were instructed to do at the very beginning of your trek. And she sort of lifts it up a bit. I mean, perhaps they're supposed to track his essence or something through, and you can see her kind of thinking as she's like letting the sand roll, and she's kind of allowing it to run through her fingers. Maybe through some sort of psychokinesis or and she's making these thoughts out loud while some of the other campers are just kind of wandering around. One of them has like already fully given up And it's just sitting on the side, like, well, I guess when the class is over, I don't know what to do. And then a couple have decided to just go inside of the relic, which from the outside, the entrance even looks like it's been caved in at some point, so it does not look the safest. But make a roll, and I'm going to give you a choice here. You can kind of make a roll based on what Cleo is saying and doing, or you can make a roll based on what the other campers are doing as they kind of look around.
I'm thinking, given everything, he's actually gonna go with following Cleo's lead because that does, in the weirdest way, make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll kind of join like instinct, like you might be right.
She has kind of like floppy goat ears that are right below her horns, and they kind of perk up as you say that. You think so? I mean, I'm just kind of guessing.
I think that's what most of us are doing, but it makes the most sense. I mean, currently right now, it's about the only thing that makes sense with this class.
Okay. So she kind of stands up. So we have to connect in some way, right? And he asked us to feel the sand, which I'm not gonna lie, feels like sand. So I'm 100% sure. And as she says that, you can feel the sand yourself a second time based on what you think you might need to do. And you can make a roll. And you can choose your stat, other than like fight.
I'm gonna say probably brains because he's trying to like deduce what he's needing to connect to with this.
Okay. Go ahead and roll brains. Your DC is going to be 5.
So that is a 17.
Wow. I'll say that you kind of mimic her. You kind of mimic her gesture, and you touch the sand. You let it run through your fingers. And you do pick up something that you didn't pick up the first time you did this, perhaps because you weren't looking for it, but you distinctly remember, obviously, the teacher, Mr. Van Glow, popping up from under the sand. Now, originally you were like, oh, that's weird theatrics, but when he then disappeared and no one could find him, I think you're now putting things together that perhaps it's something a little bit more to do with the sand than you originally thought. And I'll let you tell me what you find as you with such a high roll.
I guess just kind of taking a moment of kind of just feeling, it's like, wait, what? What if he didn't poof up, rather back into the sand, tunneling?
She kind of looks at you, Chloe. She goes, like a sandworm. Is that what you meant? Like he turned into a sandworm?
I don't know if it's some kind of essence or what it is. Maybe it just might be vibrations, but I'm getting something.
Maybe he turned into sand.
It would be about right for the amount of theatrics I've heard he does.
Well, how do we turn into sand? She kind of closes her eyes and thinks really hard. I'm gonna be sand. I'd like to be sand. But she's not sand. I will say with that high roll, you can use your wand to maybe uncover how or where the teacher went, or in what way you can move the way he did.
Yeah, I think if anything, he's going to attempt more of tracking than anything, like figuring out which direction.
I'm going to say that even with that high brains roll, you don't necessarily think, like, obviously he said that you all needed to go here, but you don't necessarily think movement has actually happened. What are you thinking of doing or thinking?
It kind of looks like this could absolutely backfire. He's going to grab his wand, and he's going to try and see if he can actually turn himself into sand.
Makes sense to me. I'm going to say that because you had such a high brains roll, I'll say that while this isn't necessarily in your magical wheelhouse, because you know what class this is, you can assume that perhaps turning yourself into sand is not necessarily an actual transformation. Perhaps it's more figurative. But essentially, you're going to try and follow the teacher. So, like, whatever he did. And right now, you think he turned to sand, which Cleo was on board with. She's like, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yes. And then she whips out her wand, which is actually, it looks like it's like an old dead horn of some type of animal that's been carved into a wand. And she just goes, okay, yes, we want to be sand, but like metaphysically, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think attempting actual sand is going to end well for either of us.
Okay. You guys hold your wands in your hands and cast magic on each other. What do you want to roll for this?
I'm somewhere between either. My brain keeps saying grit, but I'm like, I'm not like 1,000% sure that would work.
You never know. I would say this is either like flight because you're actually trying to move yourselves, or grit because you think you know what you need to do, but you actually don't know. So you're like, I'm going to cast magic and see what happens. You're going to have to deal with whatever happens.
I'm going to go with grit because this...
Okay. She is going to use your grit roll, which is what?
That is a D8.
Okay. Remember D8.
+1 in my magic for that.
Okay. You both are going to roll. I am going to say that the DC is going to be a 8 to actually do what you want it to do, which is basically follow the teacher however they moved.
Yeah.
A 5 to simply find whatever way, the teacher did move. So if they did turn themselves into sand, you'll turn yourselves into sand. But essentially, you'll find a way to better track the teacher if you get a 5.
For sure.
If you get anything less, if you get a 3 or less, something bad will happen.
It's valid.
All right. Let's roll as you both cast. Okay.
Oh, thank goodness, that's a 5.
Okay. She got a 7. So you guys did really, really good. You both cast this magic on one another, and you basically steel yourselves for whatever is going to happen. And her eyes are tightly closed. And just like the teacher, everyone around you sees you two just basically evaporate in air. And we will come back to see what happens to you guys. But let's first go to breakfast with Ebb and Gia. See how they're doing. The other two have gone to class. They're probably having so much fun.
So much.
You two are at breakfast. Smells delicious in here. It's pancake day. So there's just like, it's pancakes, syrup, different types of butter. It's like a buffet, but for pancakes.
Is Fred still on my shoulder?
Go ahead and roll a charm roll if you want to bring him with you.
I absolutely want to bring him with me. Yes.
I think right now the DC is going to be, let's make it 7 anytime you want to do something with Fred. But the more you get him to do something with you, the DC will continue to lower.
Nice. That is a 9 plus 1, so a 10.
Okay. Where do you want him?
He can just hang out on my shoulder if he stops digging his claws into it so bad I have to change my shirt.
Mm-hmm. You beckon him to get on your shoulder after you've changed your shirt, and his claws sink into your flesh.
Fred.
It hasn't drawn blood yet.
Okay, baby steps. Fred, how do you feel about nail trims? Pro.
Or we could give you a really cool leather shoulder thing. I've heard it's the rage in human world.
I feel like that might be obvious. Like someone would notice that.
So
you could say it's a new fashion thing that you're trying because you're super fashiony and stuff.
Right.
So as you guys are saying this stuff to him, I'm gonna say he kind of understands just based off of your last roll, but his response is, never words. It's always some sort of action or noise. And so as you guys are trying to have this conversation about putting something on him to do whatever, even though this is a large winged creature, the sound it makes is like a snake. So it's like in response.
Oh, no, Fred, it wouldn't go on you. It'd go on her shoulder, and then you could land on her shoulder, and it wouldn't hurt as much. That's what they do with falcons.
As you say that, he kind of moves his feet and unhooks his claws, unhooks his claws, and then digs it deeper into Gia's shoulder. And then releases them, digs them in again in the same spot.
Cat?
Yes, clearly indicating that he likes the softness of this shoulder.
Oh.
Okay, you know what? What's a couple new scars for Gia? It's fine. It's fine, buddy.
It match your aesthetic.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well,
all three of you head to breakfast.
Gia.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember how everybody's brooms got stolen at like the beginning of this whole stupid camp thing?
I thought it was just Hayden and I. Did they take your broom?
No, not mine, but I hid it the whole time. But I think also, I think Juni's got taken yesterday. Did it? Maybe not.
I thought
she didn't get taken.
I thought she talked her way out of that one.
Oh, good.
She
Anyway,
needs it for like her asthma.
You know how you want your broom back, right? And probably Hayden wants his broom back.
Yeah.
Well, morning time is the time when adults are bad at things because they haven't had coffee yet. And
okay,
I think with our invisible friend here, if we can just get him into the room with all the magic brooms, he could just suck up the whole room, and then when we get him back to camp later, he can spit out the 2 brooms we need and he can just have the rest of them.
You are an evil genius. Fred, did you hear that? Are you down?
He kind of does the same sound in the exact same pitch, which is just like that. That's your answer.
I can't decide. See, I thought that was a no before, but now, I mean, you're getting a lot out of this, Fred. You get to eat everything in the room except for 2 brooms.
He once again unhooks his claws, digs them back in, unhooks his claws, digs them back. He kind of does a little shuffle on your shoulder.
I think that means he likes it.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's just head over there, and we'll work on maybe squeeze once for yes and twice for no.
He just digs into your shoulder and then unhooks his claws and settles.
I think that was a yes. I should come up with a less painful way to do this.
He knows numbers. That's crazy.
You're very smart, Fred.
So smart.
Do you 2 attempt to eat with Fred on your shoulder?
I was planning on grabbing some fruit and walking with it. The whatever it's called, main office is kind of far from the mess hall.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys aren't going to eat at the mess hall, but you are going to go in to get some food and then walk out with it.
I feel like this is a trap, but that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I was going to walk in with her, but not get any food because I don't want pancakes.
Well, Ebb, you can always get a custom meal from the chef.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't want to take that much time.
Okay. So you guys run in, and Gia, you are going to grab some fruit, and then you guys are going to walk back out. As you guys are leaving, Gia, go ahead and make a fight or flight roll, and it's going to be contested. Where's my D12?
Oh, no.
It's going to be contested. You need to beat a 9.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's fight.
Can I help?
Yeah.
That, I do not need it, but I would. Yeah, it's kind.
Great.
I got a 17.
Wow.
I'm good at fighting.
You are. Now I'm assuming that this is just a snap reaction you've made.
Yes.
What
do I punch
what are you doing to this? All you can really see is a blur as something clearly goes to attack your shoulder. What's your reaction? Like your snap reaction?
So something is coming from far, like from away from me at me.
Yes.
I think my reaction is just to kind of like flat of my hand, just like redirect it, push it away.
Okay. You basically swat at this, whatever is coming at you, and it falls like to the wayside and hits the ground with a bit of a loud squeal. And as you both look over, you see that it is Belle.
Oh.
Belle.
But as she gets up to look at both of you, because she's not harmed, she doesn't look as sweet as she did earlier. She looks like she's about to attack again. She looks ravenous and almost enraged.
Belle.
No, Belle. No.
Can I try and talk to Belle?
You may.
With my
You want to do a charm? She is going to attempt to run at you again. So it's going to be against her fight.
Oh, good.
Which is the same. So she's going to...
Oh, that exploded.
Nice.
Oh, that would have been so cool. Dirty 24.
Okay, she has 2.
I'm glad I'm getting all these good rolls out of the way at the beginning before I'm in mortal peril.
It's okay.
So
I'll
a couple of things. A couple of things happen when you swat this thing away, and then you realize that it's Belle and that it's kind of about to go at you again. You can feel the talons on your shoulder ungrip and the weight lift from your shoulder. And then you say something to Belle. So what happens? What do you say to her?
Like, Belle, calm down. There's nothing to worry about. Let's just talk this through.
She looks extremely agitated, and she's kind of doing that thing, even though she doesn't have any fur. You can clearly see that she's like hunching her back a bit, and she's kind of like teetering on her hooves. Like she doesn't want to try to attack you again, but it's almost as if she's like, but I'm trying to help. Like I need to do this thing. But she can't really explain that to you. And so she just kind of runs into your legs and tries to like push you, like just push you with her body.
Oh, okay. Belle, everything. Hey, we're chill. I know. I hear you. I see your concern. It's so valid. Why don't you hang out here? And I'll just go.
Snack?
You want an apple?
Because that roll was ridiculously high for no reason. I'm going to say that I will let that bleed into the next thing you notice, which is a silver shimmer from Fred as it begins to descend over Belle.
Fred, no. Can I try and just like grab Fred?
Yes. Now, your charm was very, very high. And so I'm going to let it coast quite a while. But that means that you don't have to make another charm roll. However, I think in this moment, because there are 2 creatures that you can kind of communicate with, but not really well, and it's you and Ebb, and then you guys were leaving the main building area, but you're still inside of it. You're still inside of the mess hall. You're just leaving. Eventually, enough people will get like confused about what's going on over there to where you start to get, more people coming into this area. So I'll say that I'll let this extend to you being able to quickly just grab Fred. But if you 2 don't make your way like either out of this space or calm down Belle, other people will begin to come around just to kind of see what's happening over here. So yeah, you grab the little slight like silver sheen you can see, and you can kind of feel that its like hefty body is like wiggling in your arms, and its wings are like flapping as it's like trying to get off you. Meanwhile, because you've now held it in your hands and it's in front of you, now Belle is also like, she's not trying to, but she's doing that thing that dogs do where they like jump up on top, like on your legs and your chest to like get up to you. But like she has hooves, so she's kind of ripping into your legs as she's like trying to get at this thing. That thing in your hand is trying to get to her. It's and she's making quite a lot of noise.
Can I intercede between the two of them so that she can have one and I'll deal with the other one?
Yes, you want to try to grab Belle.
I want to try and distract Belle and like throw one of the apples into the cafeteria so she'll like run squealing towards that.
So I'm gonna say in this instance, distracting her that way is not going to work. She's gonna need to be restrained.
Okay, I'll restrain her.
Okay. What do you want to roll?
I guess it would be fight, right? I mean, or brawn.
I would think brawn if you're using your hands.
Yeah, I don't really have. All my stuff got eaten. Oh, but I have that tarp. You know what? Let's use the tarp.
Okay.
Just gonna trap her under the tarp.
Okay.
Run away.
So it's gonna be again against her fight. So you're gonna go ahead and roll your fight. You have to beat a 3.
Okay. Let's see. Where is my DA? All right, I beat it with a +1. Wait, where's my fight? Oh, I have +1 in magic, not in regular. But I got a 4.
Very nice. Okay. She is restrained with the tarp over her. She's still kind of like squealing, and the bell is still chiming in her throat. But you guys can get away from one another for the moment.
I am just gonna take Fred and run, not run, power walk in a not at all suspicious way out of the mess hall.
Okay.
While scolding Frederick. That is not how we behave in public. That is quiet, private time behavior. You can't just go attacking people's familiars. It's rude.
Yeah, and we're gonna get a bunch of magic brooms. So chill your appetite, man.
So Ebb, you are still inside with Belle. Gia, you have made it outside of the mess hall. I'm gonna say, unfortunately, your plate of fruit has fallen to the wayside. So you weren't able to get any food. But you have Fred in your hands. And he has calmed down now that you're outside.
Can I
Ebb, what are you doing with
a little bit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Ebb, what are you doing with Belle?
Oh, I was just gonna leave her there under the tarp and run away.
Okay. You run away and you kind of see that you literally just see a tarp running around, bumping into things as you run out.
As much chaos as possible.
Mm-hmm.
That would be preferable. If this takes them a while to clean up, that'd be great. So that nobody's in the main office.
All right. You two have made it outside of the mess hall. Pull up the map again. And you're wanting to go all the way to the main office.
Correct.
All right. It will take you some time, I'll say, actually, to get there and to get back, seeing as how you guys had breakfast. I'm going to say you're not going to be able to go to your early morning class if you had one.
Breakfast was the first thing that we both had. So.
Yeah, breakfast was the first thing.
Perfect. All right. you guys make your way to the main office. It is open, like the door it's open. You can see some people coming in and out. It's a office that is where the majority of the staff are, that run the camp, but don't actually work in a lot of the spaces like the mess hall and things like that. This is administration.
Does it look like one big room, or are there like several different offices in here?
There's a main entryway where there's like a staircase that goes upstairs, and then there is a little like tiny staircase, not really a staircase, it's like 3 steps, it's like sunken, that goes down into a huge open room, and that's where you all met Dr. Helmuth on the very first day. And this is the hall of all of the owners. They have their pictures around. But that's all you see like when you walk in, and then you see a bunch of doors that have like different names on them. Not names, but like labels, like staff only, employees only, stuff like that. But they're just doors with like knobs, and they're not labeled as anything. You assume just from looking at this place that you'd have to just kind of pick a door, see if it's open, peek in, and see what it actually leads to.
And are there lots of people in here, or are there nobody in here yet?
There's not lots, but I will say that unless you're trying to like sneak in, the door is open, and so campers and counselors can go into the main office at any time. But if you're trying to go through any place that's staff only without sneaking, people would notice you. But other than that, you're just campers in this area, because you can have free roam of the camp.
And is there any space under the doors?
I am gonna say yeah, because it's just a giant cabin. So like they have weather stripping, but it's an old cabin.
Excellent. Well, I'm gonna talk to Gia. So I have a little bit of a plan, but not like a big plan. But the little bit of my plan is that Sploop will sploop out of my boots and go look in some rooms and tell us which one the broom is in, while I or you, maybe me, so that you can sneak in while I talk to somebody in the office. And then once we know where the brooms are, you can sneak into that room specifically.
Okay. Yeah,
or we could find a window and let Fred in that way.
I have a feeling that Fred is going to do better with some more solid direction. So if your little buddy there can get in, get us some good intel, then we can give Fred a really clear idea of what to do, because I'm picturing Fred eating things that he shouldn't.
Fair point. But also, if he eats extra magic items, maybe he'll get more powers.
Fair.
Okay, so I'll splash my way in there with my boots, and in one of the splashes, Bloop will escape and go look under all the doors.
Okay, great. I think the cover story should be that you're looking for your brother.
Oh,
and
great.
I'll wait out here for you, really bored, if anyone asks.
Okay.
Break.
And I'm gonna sploosh into the office.
Weirdly,
Okay.
she's humming the Mission Impossible song, even though she's never seen it. It's wild.
Excellent. Okay. So I'll say that you're inside, and if you are, Mission Impossible it inside, people are just kind of watching you do that because it's open to the public?
No, I'm walking in very determinedly and letting the water in my boots splash out so that hopefully nobody will notice the little fish continue to splash in a different direction from me.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I will say you can just do that. I don't think anyone would notice that, as long as you're in the public areas. So where are you trying to go?
So I'm trying to go into the main space where the people are to try and talk to somebody to distract them.
Okay. Yeah, there is kind of like a receptionist desk, let's call it, something like that, in the main area when you kind of like walk in. It has like information as a sign on the front of it, and there is I'm gonna say an ancient woman kind of sitting. She is like almost a skeleton, but with just a thin layer of kind of like a rice paper thin skin. And she has a very, very oval face and really deep set eyes that are a bit of like a crimson red. She looks kind of frightening, except she's also just kind of like has her gray hair pinned up in a bun, and she's wearing like a cardigan. So it's interesting. But she is kind of just flipping through something as you walk up. And I'm going to say you're so short that as you walk up the desk, she like loses sight of you.
And I'm just going to put my hands on the top of the desk and just be like, hello.
She closes what she was doing. Hello, little child.
Put myself up on my tiptoes and put my chin on the desk and look up at her with like really big, cute eyes. I almost make them like fish big, like way too big for my face, like almost into my siren form. And I'm just like, hi, this camp is very big and I am very little and I'm looking for my favorite stuffy named Fred. He's missing and I was just wondering if maybe my brother has him. My brother is really nice and maybe he found Fred for me and I miss Fred so much, miss.
Your voice just gets higher and higher. Yep. That's very good. Are you just doing this as charm, or are you trying to use a little magic here?
I think I'm gonna save my magic for in case we get in trouble. So I think this one's just charm, and the magic going on right now is Sploop, like looking through the doorways to try and find the broom and letting me know psychically or however familiars work which door it is. So I think that's the magic I'm doing. Not like I don't think I can also do siren magic at the same time as have half my brain with Sploop.
Okay. I like this. Then how about we do this? I'm also going to give you 2 different difficulties. So you go ahead and roll a charm. The first DC is going to be just against her brains, to be honest, because just to see if she can, not even her brains, actually, it's going to be her grit, just to see if she can resist this charm.
My adorableness.
Yes, your adorableness. And then that's going to be against one another. But then I want you to roll. Let's do flight to see how quick and stealthy your little mud skipper can be as they check through the doors to kind of see how many doors they can get through and get back to you in a timely manner, so I can kind of figure out how I want to give you the information. So let's do against this woman first.
So charm first.
Yes. Okay. And she is not very charming because she's terrifying, actually.
She's terrifying. She's beautiful.
Oh, but she exploded. She has a D4.
Oh,
she exploded. No. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7. So she has just got a 7. So you gotta beat a 7.
Okay. I did do that with a 13.
Okay. Oh, and that's more than 5. This woman who you can clearly actually see her milky white bones underneath a eerie translucent thin skin. She kind of puts her paper down that she was looking at, puts both of her, now that you can notice as you're close up, her clawed fingers on the table as she kind of leans over, and it creaks as she leans over at you. And those crimson eyes get narrow, and she opens up her mouth, and she has these crooked, jagged teeth that are kind of yellow and stained as well. And she just goes, "Oh, aren't you adorable? I could just eat you up." And she kind of takes one of her hands and squeezes your cheek. "You say you're looking for someone, sweetheart?"
"Yeah, I'm looking for my big brother. His name is Flo."
Oh, she is going to attempt to pick you up if you allow her.
Oh, sure.
Okay. She reaches all the way over, and at this point she's had to stand up and actually and you can kind of see that she's way taller than you expected her to be, and her limbs are way longer than they looked when she was sitting, because she's able to bend over the desk and pick you up effortlessly, even though she looks like she's skin and bones. And she kind of picks you up and sets you on the desk in front of her, and she kind of dusts off your little jacket. "Do not worry, darling. We'll find him." And she kind of moves her fingers. You see that she's not using a wand, but she just sort of cricks her hand, and you can kind of hear the cracking of the bones. And there is a intercom system that goes off, that rings out in the main office. And she just goes, "Flo, darling, your sweet little sister is here to visit you. Come see me, or I might just take her home." And she smiles at you again with those cracked teeth, and her smile kind of splits at the corners as she looks at you, and she pats you on the head. She is fully enamored by you. And an intercom system has kind of gone out, asking for Flo to come to her desk at his earliest convenience. Great distraction.
Keep looking at her with big, unblinking eyes. Because I don't have to blink.
Perfect. What is Gia doing with this distraction?
Oh, did you want me to roll the other dice?
Oh, yes, that's right. Roll for that is going to be. I don't think there's many people out and about, but she did just do an intercom, so there will probably be some people around. Let's do that as a DC 5. It's going to be a flight roll.
Okay. Ooh, I just made it with a 4 on the dice and 1 plus stat.
Nice.
So that's a 5.
He works perfectly. He kind of jumps from puddle to puddle, goes to each of the doors. He's able to kind of see what might be under them. A couple of them, there's mainly just a hallway that goes to other doors that are going to be offices. Nothing of interest too much. And then there's some other doors. There's like a little coffee area where a lot of the adults are. They're kind of going in and out. So that door is always open. So he didn't even have to really try too hard for that one. He could just look in. There's like a little coffee break room. And then there is a door that is essentially where Dr. Helmuth was standing in the large room that is a bit of a pit. There's a door at the very end of that circular room that is like a really dark wood. It's really beautiful and ornate, and it clearly has a plaque on it. But unlike the other ones that just say staff only or employees only, it says something that you can't necessarily read because it's in a different language, but it also clearly has like a different like lock and key mechanism to like get through it. So as he goes to investigate that one, while he can't really tell where it goes because it's not able to be opened, he can kind of tell from underneath where the door jamb hits the floor that behind this door, instead of just another hallway, there's most likely a staircase, and there's a cold draft coming from this door. And he's able to get back to you in record time and even slip into your little pocket right before she like picks you up and makes the announcement. And he's able to give you all of this information while she's doting on you and calling your brother. Seamless.
Love it.
Great Mission Impossible episode.
Best ever.
Gia, what are you doing?
Waiting for word from Ebb or Sploop. Sploop? I think that's his name.
Yeah, Sploop.
Sploop. Waiting for word of where I should go with Fred.
Is there word?
Sploop.
Yeah, it's spelled Sploop. Sploop.
Do you give any word to Gia?
I don't know if like Sploop could communicate with Galileo maybe, and then Galileo could tell me. I'm not sure how familiar communication works.
Yeah, can fishes talk to bats?
Well, it's not a bat.
However, Galileo, not Fred.
Oh, Galileo.
But also Fred.
You're
like
familiar.
If we just want to if we want to cut Galileo out of the communication chain, he won't mind.
That's fair. The Fred is closer to what Sploop is, I think.
That's true.
So you want to try to communicate to Fred?
If I can, as soon as Sploop gives me that information, I try and tell him to tell Fred that information. Because I can't leave this lady's arms now without ruining the illusion.
Okay. I will say that Sploop can try to communicate with this creature called Fred. However, they're going to have to be, if you want to use like telepathy in some way, you'll have to kind of tell me how you're doing that.
From Sploop to Fred, you mean? Or from me to Sploop?
Yeah, from Sploop to Fred.
Well, let's see. I don't know, but I could do magic about it. What would, oh no, might be brains. I'm terrible at brains. Yeah, it might be brains. The only other thing I can think of is echolocation, which would be more of a like in water thing, but they're not in water. But also Sploop breathes air, so he could just do like bubble noises.
I could also try to just talk to Sploop.
This is fair. If I just send Sploop out to you, you could talk to him probably.
Probably.
So right. I'll just send Sploop out to Gia.
Okay. I'll say that with that high, well, actually that wasn't that high. I'll say with that flight roll for him to find out all the information about the doors and get back to you, that's going to be its own roll. I will say, if you want a telepathic communication to happen and to use magic, you can try to, Gia, you can try to check in with Ebb using Fred, because you two do have a bond, and also he does have a object inside of him that allows him to possibly speak telepathically with anyone. So you would just have to communicate what you would like to happen, and hopefully it happens.
Okay. Sure. Let's roll for broke with Fred. She will turn to her little invisible friend while she's waiting. Like, I think after the PA goes off, and be like, all right, so you know how you really connect with Ebb. You've eaten all of her stuff. You slept in her bed. Now I need you to see if Sploop was successful and figure out what room we have to go to. Can you do that?
The creature that's on your shoulder at this point, he kind of does the same thing he's been doing this whole time, which is, unhooking his claws, hooking them back into you, kind of shifting. But he understands you're communicating to him. So go ahead and roll charm. DC, I think, is going to be a 6.
Okay. That is a 10.
Okay.
Plus 1 and 11.
Okay. Ebb, go ahead and roll a grit roll. This is kind of for Sploop, but go and roll a grit roll. DC is going to be a 6.
Boy, I sure hope we don't pay the price for trusting this weird creature that we didn't listen to any of the warnings about.
Pan, did you roll?
Oh, I thought Fred was rolling. Am I also rolling grit?
Yeah, you're rolling grit.
Okay. Grit is this dice over here. Whee! I got an 8. Am I doing magic or not magic?
No, it's not magic. It's just for Fred, who does understand Gia because you did well on your roll. And so he is going to try and determine if, Sploop was successful and if it's ready for you to go, basically. And so the grit roll was to see if Sploop would be able to not receive this transmission. or
eight.
something bad would happen. Okay. So, you Sploop does what basically happens is that Fred doesn't necessarily communicate with Sploop, but they kind of rummage inside of their brain to get the information that you asked for, essentially. But Sploop is unharmed by this process. And then they relay to you, basically in images, as if you're looking through Sploop's own eyes, what they actually did and where they are up until that very moment.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, Fred, that is useful. That's cool. Can you high five, high wing? I'll just scratch your head. I'll scratch. Good boy.
You scratch his head, and you also get another flash of an image, which is Sploop's dead body being ripped apart.
No, Frederick, no.
I love him so much.
That is not nice. We will find you a squirrel. Familiars are off the table.
He sort of nestles on your shoulder.
Okay, good boy. All right, you want to go eat some brooms? Yeah, you do. I'm gonna try and just nonchalantly walk towards that room with the weird sign on it.
Okay. As you walk in there and you're walking past everyone with your little imaginary or your invisible creature on your shoulder, I'm going to have to ask you to give me let's say, I'm going to say a flight roll.
Uh-oh. Okay.
This is going to be, I'm going to say no, because she's not near you yet. Not yet. Once she gets to you, perhaps. But this is just you getting past the threshold and you're trying to make your way to the door. I'll say that as you walk in, you just kind of maybe feel something, but you're going to have to roll against it. And so it'll be contested.
And it's flight?
Yeah, I'm going to do flight. I think flight makes sense here. I'm going to do this one.
Okay, that's not bad.
So you have to beat a 15.
Oh, how many adversity tokens can I use in one
use
go?
As many as you want.
Doing some math, I don't have enough to meet that. I rolled a 7. Okay. Oh, but I have. Why do I have that? Is our age group better at flight?
No. Yeah, no. We're good at actually, yeah, we are. We have 1 flight and 1 charm.
Cool. So that's an 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I could spend all of my adversity tokens to get a 15. How much do I want this?
How much do you want your broom back?
You know what? I will spend all of my adversity tokens to bring it to a 15.
Yes.
That won't come back to bite me.
You walk into the space. You feel a slight breeze, like a slight swoosh of air. Maybe the air conditioner just kicked on, and then you continue to walk. Where are you going?
Toward the door with the weird sign on it.
Okay. I'll say you're able to walk right up to it. The only time anyone would really pay attention is if you were trying to enter it. Okay.
How close? So is the door itself? The door itself is just kind of in the main area. The door isn't in a staff area.
Nope. It's just in that main pit. If you walk down the couple of steps, this is where you all met Dr. Helmuth. She was kind of in the middle of this hall, and she was pointing to some of the pictures and portraits that were all in this circular room. And basically at the end of this circular room is this door. And there's nothing else around it. It's just the door.
Cool. Is it locked?
You can try it.
Yeah, I would like to just like very, like I'm just walking past it, but like wiggle the handle, see if it's locked.
Sure. You wiggle the handle. I am going to flip a coin. Heads locked, tails not locked.
Solid.
Gia, you wiggle the handle. Oh, did you call it?
No,
oh, wait, no, I called it. No, I just
it.
didn't say it out loud. You wiggle the handle and you hear a click. It is unlocked.
I'm just gonna, just real quick, slip in, close. Nobody's gonna notice. Just real quick.
No. Yeah.
Slip through the door.
Without Ebb?
Yep.
Do it.
Ebb's busy. It's gonna be fine. Just me and Fred and Galileo. We got this.
Okay. You slip in the door. And you are on the other side of the door. It closes gently behind you. And I'm going to say your flight was pretty good, but let me go ahead and do another flight just to kind of see like how quickly you got in. So I can kind of see if anything caught you going in. Also the DC, since that happened so quickly, I'm guessing the DC is only like 5.
Well, I exploded.
Nice.
9, 10. I keep forgetting that +1, 10.
5 over. Yeah. You slip in, it closes silently, and just as it closes, someone like who's carrying a bunch of papers kind of walks past, doesn't even notice.
Awesome.
On the other side of the door is basically just darkness, but it also is like a little landing, and it's clearly going down like some stairs right after. But it is kind of pitch black behind the door.
Okay. Can I just, do I hear anything?
No.
How can Galileo see anything since he's a bat?
I would assume so, yes.
I will turn to Galileo and say, all right, buddy, it's your time to shine. I need you to lead me through the darkness to the Brooms. Can you do that, buddy?
Well, he is certainly going to try. But we'll come back to you two. Let's see how Juniper has been getting on in her fun fight battle. So, Juniper, your class today is with your partner. What's your class called again?
It is the Totem Combat.
Your trial with your partner for the day, as Miss Gilda explains, as you all are already and kind of gladiatored up, essentially, is that essentially you're going to go through this arena and basically play like on teams to see how many of these creatures that are within the arena area you can destroy with your weapons. And then, you're going to count them up and you're each going to get different levels. So basically a creature capture the flag, essentially. And so she kind of explains this to everybody. And you can see that you and Melissa have like a little magical item that's made of stone. That's your totem. And then you see the other team has like their little magical item, and you guys need to put them on your individual like sides of the arena. And then you need to go through the arena to capture the other person's totem. And you can use anything you like. She kind of explained. She's like, you can use your fists, you can use your weapons, you can use magic. The goal is to get to the other side, capture, and come back. And they usually do this 2 out of 2. So I'm going to say that you guys aren't the first ones to go. You see a couple of campers go, and they seem to be having a good time. They seem to be having fun. They're laughing. A couple of people win. They like high five. So it doesn't seem too dangerous. And then you and Melissa, it's your turn. And Melissa is ready to go. Like she has like a special like oil that she's kind of oiling her hands with, and she's like, this is really good for dry hands, obviously, but it's also really good because we're going to be wearing gloves. Do you want some of this?
Sure. And she like holds her hands out.
She kind of gives you some, and she's like, okay, all right, I'm so ready for this. We're going to win this. And she looks dead serious.
Yeah, for sure. And like Juni like just kind of like hypes herself up a bit. She's like, yeah, you got this. You took you took Taekwondo and won plenty of fights at school, and you came from public school, so obviously you're going to do good at this.
You both are standing on one side of the arena, knowing that you need to get through this like maze of like tunnels in this area to get to the other side, grab the totem and get back. And you both hear the starting pistol rain out, and Melissa is already gone. She's running full hilt.
I try to keep up with her, but also not necessarily follow her if I think I trust my gut a little more than my partner, if that makes sense.
Yes. She doesn't know the way, but she is just wanting to go fast. As you guys are running through and you haven't seen anything yet, nothing has come out at you. It's just right now a bit of a maze to try to get to the other side. Go ahead and make a brains roll to just kind of get your bearings as you guys run through these tunnels. DC is going to be a 7.
That's an 8, which explodes, plus 6, 14.
Wow. Okay. Over 5. It's not as maze-like as it seems, although it can get confusing if you're just trying to run through it quickly, which most people are, but also it's supposed to be fun. So as you're kind of running behind Melissa, you can kind of see sometimes instead of taking like that left that she's thinking of taking, you just grab her instinctually and take her to the right. And you guys are having a good time, right? You're navigating, and finally, after just a couple of minutes, you get to the other side of the arena and you can see the totem. The totems are technically out in like plain sight. They're like handheld ones, so they're on a little plinth. And it doesn't look like there's anyone around at the moment. And Melissa kind of just stops and stares at it. She's foaming at the mouth. She's like, oh my gosh, it's right there.
Do I like sense that this is something I can just run towards, or that something is waiting?
I'm going to say, based off of the brains roll you had, it was pretty high, but it got you all the way there. From what you can tell, you don't sense or see anything.
Then I think Juni is going to run with her to get the totems, but she's keeping an eye out. Like she's like, it's too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I've seen plenty of action movies. It is too quiet here.
You both find yourself at the little plinth, staring down at this little totem, and you both kind of like look down at it and then look at each other. I mean, one of you's got to grab it. And Melissa's like, I'll do it. It's probably not trapped. I mean, we didn't trap ours. So. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll grab it. Then. And she reaches her hand and grabs it. Nothing happens. Oh.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't trap theirs either.
Okay. Well, let's go back.
Let's go back.
And you guys start running. As you all go back and you're making your way again through, you can kind of hear the other team. And at some point, you can kind of see them. Their tunnels are like regular tunnels, but then from time to time they have like little cracks in the walls, and so you see them literally running past, and you don't know if they have your totem or not, or if they're just lost. But like now you're like, oh no, maybe they are about to go back to their side. And so Melissa kind of looks at you and she's like, oh no, we should do a quick shortcut. I will like catapult you over this wall and it'll get you like faster. So it'll be like a shortcut. And I'm really good at magic. She takes out her wand.
Is that allowed?
I mean, I don't think we were told we can't, right? She said we could use magic or anything. That's what we're doing.
Okay. And I'll take the totem then. It'll get us there. It'll get the totem there faster.
Yeah. She gives you the totem. She is going to basically like
Judy's really smart about it. She stuffs this totem down her shirt.
Good job. She's basically going to cast something on you so that you can do something. It's supposed to get you over the wall. You don't know what it's going to be. Maybe a jump, maybe a levitate. You're not sure. But she winds up her wand and casts. Go ahead and make a grit roll. It's going to be against her. What is this? This is, I'm going to say flight for her. So it's going to be a 12. As she casts this with her magic. So for her, it is going to be a 5. So you just need
I want it to be higher, like so that I'm in control-ish.
Well, you can do either one. You can auto fail. You can just be like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and take it to see like how high you get. And then, or you can try to like take whatever she gives you and then add to it.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay. That is going to be at 11.
Oh, yeah. You feel this magic kind of surge through you. It goes all the way up to, the top of your head to your fingertips, and you feel strong enough that if you were to push off of the ground, you would lift much higher than you've ever lifted before. What do you want to do?
I think I go for it. I think I like really give into the magic and go for it.
Okay. You jump off and you fly through basically out of this like little section of the tunnel. And as you're up in the air, you can kind of see on a top-down view. The top sections aren't open all the way through these arena tunnels. You can just sometimes glimpse a couple of things here and there. And so as you're falling back down on the other side of the wall, I'll say that you glimpse something very interesting. You do see the other team. They are running. They're on like another path, some other tunnel, and that you thought they were running. However, it doesn't look like they have anything in their hands, but they are definitely booking it. They're running very fast, and you're not hearing the laughter and playfulness you were hearing when you guys entered this maze of arena tunnels. As you find your feet again on the other side of the wall, you hear Melissa on the other side. Did you make it?
I did. But
hey,
I think something's off.
You just keep running. I'm going to come around. And you kind of hear her already running.
Okay, be careful. Call out to me if something happens. And I continue running as well, but I'm really cautious.
Okay. You continue your run. In just a couple of seconds, you get back to your area. Your totem is still there, but there is a space for you to put the one that you have captured.
I go ahead and do that.
You put the totem down, and you again hear like the pistol ring, basically saying that this round is ended. And you can kind of see some of the other campers who are kind of like on the sidelines. They're kind of like, yay! They're kind of like clapping for you. And so you've won. You and Melissa have won. And so you're just waiting for her to return.
I think I go back in to find her.
Okay. What do you want to do when you go back in to find her? What are you trying to look for? Are you just trying to run through?
I think having jumped high, that I kind of got a lay of the land. I think I'm not rushing into the maze this time. I'm trying to use the paths that we've been through the maze before, knowing that she's probably using those same paths and then what I've seen when I was over the wall to get back to her. And I'm also like shouting for her as I'm going through.
Okay. You are shouting for her, you're kind of running through, and before you get a response as you're kind of running through and looking for her, you run into the other two campers who were running around previously. They literally run smack dab into you, and you both like fall on the ground.
I think she takes a second to regain herself. She's like, weren't you just running the other way?
One of the campers kind of gets up. He's kind of a meek, like redheaded boy, but he kind of gets up. He's like, "Oh, sorry, what? Yeah, I know we had to turn around. There was a thing, and there's stuff." He kind of looks around. He's like, "What? How long have we been in here? What day is it? What time?" And the other girl, his partner, kind of gets up, and she also looks a little bit dazed, a little confused. And they both kind of look at you. So what's happened? What are we doing again?
The game?
The game? Right.
These guys are dressed like, I don't know if the other team has like colors, like if they gave us like temporary jerseys or something. Do these kids look like my opponents?
Yes.
Okay. They're just really confused. I'm just like, I'm trying to make sure these kids aren't here from like centuries ago. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, look, the exit's that way. I just came in here. So how about we get out of the maze? And
they kind of look at you. Yeah, okay. And they'll follow you out, a bit confused, but they don't look harmed. They look fine, just confused and look like they've been running.
Yeah, I help them out of the maze. Okay. And call the teacher over.
Yeah, I will say that as you guys come back out, she is already there because she had already called your win, and she was also confused that you were the only one there and the other team hadn't returned. And so she is kind of standing right in front of like your little plinth where your totem is. And she goes, "Well, what's happened here?" And she kind of looks at the other two. And they look at her, and then one of them kind of looks at you, and they're like, "Who's this?"
The teacher, the fight teacher, Miss, remind me her name again.
Gilda.
My notes. Thank you, Miss Gilda.
They look at each other. Oh, you can tell without even rolling. They have no idea who this woman is.
I look at them and I'm like, "What are your names?" Just to see if they know each other's names.
Yeah. Miss Gilda now walks over and kind of looks at everyone. And she looks at you, Juni, and she goes, "Where's your partner?"
She's still in the maze. I was going to go back and find her. I ran into these guys first.
She looks at them too. What's happening here? And she can kind of see that she's scanning them, kind of like looking from top to bottom in like a robotic way, almost like she can tell that something is off. What's going on with you two? What happened? And they look at her, but they have no recognition of who this person is. And when they hear you ask them the question of like who they are, they kind of have to think about it for a second. And they're like, I'm sure I know my own name, I guess. I just don't remember right now. And she kind of looks at all of you. All right, well, let's get you two to the nurse to get you looked at. And she looks at you, Juni. And Melissa was your partner, correct?
Yes.
I will go in to find her. Everyone stay here. And then she goes into the little maze. Before she goes, you can feel something that's been sent on the wind, and in like a flash of a second, as she disappears into the arena, Miss Angelique shows up as a flash of white light, and she kind of looks at all three of you. I hear there's an issue. And she looks at the two campers. That's not good. You two will need to come with me. We'll get you fixed right up. And they kind of look at her. Again, no recognition of who she is, but they both kind of nod. And then she kind of looks over at you just for a second. You all right?
I'm fine. Juni's like, keeps looking back towards the maze, wondering if she should go in there. Because she knows like the teacher knows better than her, but something in her gut is like, maybe I should go in there. She's just like, my partner's in there. I'm just hoping that she's okay. These guys, I don't know. It's like they forgot everything.
She looks at them and then looks at you again, and then looks over at the entrance of the arena and looks back at you. I'm sure your partner is fine. Miss Gilda is the best among us. She'll bring her out. And she kind of opens her arms to the two other campers, and they come towards her. And then in a flash of white light, they all disappear. I'm going to say probably just like a couple of minutes go by, but Miss Gilda does come back out, and she is with Melissa. Melissa looks rough. She went in there with the perfect hair and the cute outfit and all of the accessories, and she's looking like she's been lost in the woods for 5 days with no food or water or provisions. She's looking rough, but she's like coming out like a little dazed as well. Not like the other two, but she just kind of looks like she's been through it. And Gilda is in front of her. And when you guys get close, she just goes, all right, well, this has been quite the day. I think we're done exercises. You two should get some rest. And she looks at Melissa, and you should go and see Miss Angelique as soon as you can. You look like you need at least something to help with some of these scratches. She literally looks like she has branches in her hair, like little twigs in her hair. She's like muddied clothing. She has like dirt under her fingernails. Like she looks like she has some scratches, like kind of everywhere, her arms, legs, face. And she kind of is looking at you. And then she kind of looks at Miss Gilda. I'm fine. Did we win? She kind of looks at you, Juni.
We did, yeah. Thanks to you.
Goodness. Because that was a nightmare. And she just kind of like puts her hands up as if she's like done with the whole day. She's like, I need a bath. And then she kind of walks past both of you. Miss Gilda looks at you. She'll be fine. It's a bit of a mishap, but you know, some of these places can be rough. You were right.
Fine.
All right. Well, I think you're done for the day. I'd move on to your next classes. She sort of just nods at you and walks away before really wanting any further interaction.
I think Juni is going to stop the professor before she goes, and she's just like, just rough.
She looks over at you.
What's actually going on in there?
Oh, well, there are all manners of creatures that live in some of the darkest recesses of this arena. Quite interesting if you ever come across them, but they usually stay, in their own areas for the most part.
And no adult took that into consideration before having a bunch of kids run around in there, potentially getting lost and forgetting their entire identity.
She kind of puts on a big smile for you. And she goes, Juniper, I know you're new here, but this is your second day. I thought you'd be a bit more used to how we do things here. Don't worry. In time, I think you'll come to understand. These aren't just fun adventures. They're trials that will help as you grow here with us.
Trials for what?
She puts a hand on your shoulder. In time, you'll learn. But I can't give you these answers today. Get some rest. She kind of pats your shoulder and walks away.
Juni kind of looks a little like a mix of like upset and dumbfoundedness, which I guess is just frustration. And she's just like, what in the lightning thief is going on?
As you're going to stand there dumbfounded, not really sure what's happening, let's see what's going on with Hayden as he completes his class. Hayden, you and your new friend Cleo had just done some sort of magic to hopefully get you somewhere without actually turning you into sand.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. You two find yourselves literally underneath the sand, but it is clearly a hollowed out tunnel but the walls and the top and the bottom are like packed like wet sand, like sandstone and wet sand. And so every time like people move above you, you can kind of see some of the sand filter down from the cave walls, I guess you would call them.
Mm-hmm.
But you two are underneath in this, it's not completely dark. It seems to have some sort of light, although you don't know where the light is coming from. But you're in this sand tunnel. It's much bigger than you expected. Like you both are able to stand up regular tall, and it is wider than both of you, like as you stand next to each other.
Yeah. Okay. We're still in one piece. It's already a very good start.
Cleo kind of looks around and then looks at you. It actually worked. I've actually never had a magical spell I've done work. I mean, other than that one time where I wanted to catch a fish, but I accidentally turned the fish inside out. So that didn't really count, but this actually worked.
So brilliant.
The tunnel goes, you don't know how far it goes, but it definitely goes far in both directions, but it is just one long, big tunnel. And so I'll say with your brains roll, since it was pretty good, you at least can kind of tell based on the orientation you guys popped in here that the orientation you're facing is the way towards the dunes, while the up behind you is going towards the camp.
Yeah. If anything, he'll take a chance keeping his wand out, just kind of essentially casting just kind of a small thing just to keep kind of the tip of it lighted. Just to add some kind of extra light as they go, and just kind of nod over his shoulder in the direction. It's like, no, can't let this be for nothing. Come on.
She is super excited, and she just kind of claps behind you. You guys are able to walk a good amount. It's not that long. You're not sure why, but your steps seem to be heavier here, but it also seems to get you closer to where you want to go. So in just a few steps, even though you know on the surface you guys were still like a couple of minutes from trying to like go to the third dune, you guys pretty much get to what you would assume is like directly underneath the largest part of the dunes. And it's at this point where the big tunnel turns into two other tunnels. So there's like one that kind of goes to the left, but also snakes and looks like it's like climbing upwards. And then there's another one that kind of snakes to the right and seems to be going in a completely different direction than straight. They both look the same.
Yeah. Just kind of glances between both. Like, well, what do you think it should be? I mean,
she kind of looks between both, goes to one entrance of one, and just goes, Mr. Vanglow? Hears nothing. Goes to the other one. Mr. Vanglow? Hears nothing. Maybe we need to feel the sand again?
Worked before, it's worth a shot.
In this place, the sand is packed. So you're either digging into the sand, like into the wall to like fill it, or you can just like put your hand on one of the walls just to kind of feel it. She's going to go for the full dig because so far that's all she's been shown. And so that's how she kind of understands how this works. So she literally just like grabs a chunk of this earth. And just as she does it and she's holding the chunk of this wall, she's going to go ahead and make a grit roll as you watch as the sand that is clumped begins to not disintegrate, it begins to move on its own and begin to consume her hand. So she's going to roll. Let's make her a D. Okay, so she got a 6. DC was only a 10, but she did not make it. So as it begins to cover over her hand, she screams. She's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, get it off. And she starts to try to get this you're not really sure what it is, but it looks like just granules of sand that are growing over her hand and quickly kind of consuming her forearm.
Fully springs into action, helping kind of like try and dust it off.
Okay. As you try to dust it off, go ahead and make a grit roll. DC is going to be 10.
Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and spend out 2 adversity tokens just to make that 10.
Okay. You make the 10. That means that this stuff, it does begin to attach to you. Like as you're like wiping it off of her, it actually just attaches to you. But as you continue to wipe it off yourself, it flakes off. However, she is still like the stuff is still moving up her arm, and it is now up to her shoulder. And she doesn't really know what to do. So she's just kind of like running around. She's like pushing her arm and her shoulder into like the side, trying to scrape it off as it continues to move.
Okay, that partially worked. He's gonna take a long shot. Trying to set, I guess, to kind of just magically conjure just enough water to maybe try and wash this stuff off.
Okay. What are you wanting to roll for that? It could be flight if you're trying to move the stuff. It could be fight if you're trying to combat against this stuff on her and get it off of her.
I think I'm going to go with fight because, yeah, it is kind of trying to, in his own attempt to combat against it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. DC is going to be a 15.
Oh, this can only go well. So that is a 5.
Okay. So what does it look like when you conjure this water and try to get it off of her?
Essentially what he's kind of trying is he's not exactly holding his wand as steady as he was earlier when he was like way more assured and like this probably is going to work. Kind of like trying to aim directly for that area, just kind of moving his arm in kind of a fluid motion to kind of try and mimic the water as he tries to summon it. Mm-hmm. Okay, I hope this works.
Okay. The water kind of blasts on her from like her shoulder down to her arm. And for a moment, it does seem like it's working. The granules do get pushed off from the water. Unfortunately, as the water hits one of the tunnel walls and dampens it, more of the granules of this thick sand drip onto the ground. And then it begins to consume Cleo from the bottom up, as if she's sinking in quicksand. And at this point, she is fully panicking, and you can kind of see in her eyes that she is begging for help. She's like, oh my gosh, can you just, maybe we should call for help, or I don't really know what to do.
Okay, new plan. He kind of grabs her hand. The plan is run. And he attempts to grab her hand to pull her in the direction of the tunnel on the left.
Okay. That sounds like you are trying to pull her out of danger.
Yep.
Let's go with a brawn. And that's going to be against whatever this quicksand thing is. So it's going to be contested. You have to beat a 16.
I have never hoped for a dice to explode more in my life.
What dice do you have for brawn?
D4.
Excellent.
And it explodes.
Nice.
So that is a 6.
Okay.
Even with every adversity token, I'm not making that.
You pull her, but unfortunately the goop is stronger. And as it sucks her down or into, it's sort of like just completely consuming her. It quickly consumes you as you are locked in hands with her, and you both sink into the walls of this place. As you are in this liminal space of sand, you kind of hear something. You're not sure where it's coming from, because if you were to open your eyes and what you can feel, it does kind of feel like you are surrounded by just mud. Like mud is caked on you, including like your face. Mm-hmm. But you're still holding Cleo. But you can kind of hear something. It sounds vaguely like someone eating a bag of potato chips. I'll say Cleo does not hear this. So she's just grasping onto your arm and not really sure what to do as you both kind of find yourself in this weird space. I will say that oddly enough, even though it really does feel like you are in this thing, you can both breathe fine.
If anything, he's attempting kind of looking around. It's like, someone there? Just kind of trying to call out to whatever the sound is, hoping it's help.
The crunching stops abruptly, but nothing responds to you. Make a brains roll. We'll actually say this is going to be a DC 7, because it would be a little bit difficult, but I think you might be able to have a better chance of understanding what's happening given your background.
It just barely makes the 7.
You aren't sure, but you have a feeling that even though it clearly feels like you both are encased in whatever this substance is, that it wouldn't make sense for this to be the way this class is. Something's weird.
Just kind of takes a second. Just, I think it's like, okay. Just kind of looks over at Cleo. It's like, okay. Just take a second. Control your breathing. Something's not right. He kind of takes the chance, kind of in the thought of like when people mention getting like stuck in quicksand, the more you struggle, the more it's going to suck you. And it's like hoping in the sense of attempting to just remain calm to kind of try and reverse whatever this is.
Okay. I'll say that as you do that, both with physically and internally, Cleo picks up that you're doing that physically, but I think based off of what you're trying to do, you're going to have to try and also calm her down, like internally. So go ahead and roll a charm as you kind of say out loud what you're saying. And it's going to be, I think she trusts you pretty well. It's going to be a DC 6.
And that explodes. So that is an 11.
Wow. She, even with you just like saying that kind of under your breath, she is listening to you and she calms down with you. And you both do over a couple of seconds feel the weight of this mud kind of like lift on you. It's not moving away from you or like getting off of you. It's as if it just is kind of dissipating. And within like a couple of moments, you both open your eyes and you are still standing in the tunnel like you were when you both opened your eyes when you did your spell. Mm-hmm. But your hands are locked in with one another as you guys just kind of stare at each other. Neither of you have any sand or mud on you. And before either of you can even say anything to one another, even though she is looking at you like, oh my gosh, you just saved us, you hear from the end of the tunnel, a slow clap. And coming out from the shadows, you see no longer wearing the long black robe that he was wearing on the surface. Now he is wearing more of a dapper shirt. It's like a white shirt and black pants and really nice, well-polished black shoes. And he just kind of goes, that was beautiful. Excellent job, you two. Excellent job. I have not seen a performance like that in so many years at this camp, to be honest. Brava. And he continues to clap.
Hayden just kind of turns hearing that. And just the look on his face, his jaw is just completely down. Because he is having this moment of realization of, that was a test. I nearly panicked and died for this fucker to test us. He doesn't. He very deeply wants to absolutely punch him in the face. He just kind of looks at him and is like, I'm assuming the left tunnel is the way out of here.
Cleo kind of lets go of your hand at this point, and she can see that you're upset, but she kind of has a bit of an opposite reaction. She just goes, Mr. Vinklow, we were just looking for you. We weren't sure exactly what the assignment was, but hopefully we did well. And she kind of just turns her eyes to the ground. And he just looks at both of you with like just a small smile on his face. It is impressive that you all even were able to follow me. And even more impressive that you were able to figure out the whole trick with the waking dream in such a small amount of time. That is impressive. You should both be very proud of yourselves. Now, you see him take out a bag from underneath, like from like his pocket that he had probably that he had a couple of seconds ago. It is a bag of potato chips, and he kind of opens it. Let's go up to the surface. I think we're done for class today. And he kind of walks past both of you, expecting you to follow him as he takes you back up to the surface as he eats his potato chips. And Chloe just kind of looks at you solemnly and kind of says nothing and begins to follow him.
He just kind of takes a second, just kind of recomposes himself, follows behind, just kind of whispers to Chloe, "I'm glad you're safe."
She doesn't respond with like words, but she just gives a tiny nod as you both walk behind him silently. You guys emerge, and the rest of the class have been doing who knows what. They kind of, some of them have kind of went a little feral for no reason. For some reason, they just decided not to walk back. They've got like a little campsite like up. A couple of them have some face paint on, and the teacher's kind of like, I mean, I do like that you all were going to just live out here for as long as you needed to until I got back. I love the commitment. However, I will say I'm a bit disappointed. Hayden and Cleo here actually found me. Quite impressive. The rest of you, well, I suppose this is still fun, but, you know, it's not exactly the point of the class. But it's fine. This is just day 2. We have over a week together, which is just going to be so magical. All right. Let's get back. I am exhausted and I'm running low on chips. So follow me. And he begins to walk. And all of the campers who are just kind of confused, but they're like, what? Just whatever. They walk. None of them even knowing what either of you did or what you went through. And clearly you can both see that none of them who had stayed on the surface or had, even the ones that went towards the ruins, had any inkling about what would have been in store had they figured out how to follow him. And so they are just walking up ahead, just talking and chatting and being like, well, that was just a weird class. I know, he's so weird. Oh my gosh, it's so weird. Anyway, what are you doing for like, are you doing lunch? Or so they're just having normal conversations. Meanwhile, you and Chloe are kind of walking in the back together silently. And I think this is when we get back to see what's going on with Gia and Ebb, who were, well, Ebb was trying to make sure no one paid attention to Gia, but Gia did a great job. She got behind a door, and you are looking for the dungeon or wherever they're holding your brooms so you can get your broom.
Correct.
Ebb, you have been doing this for a while Gia has found her way inside of the room. It's not going to take too long for Flo to come to you, and then your distraction will get less distracting. But I'll say, Gia, you have literally a couple of minutes to figure out, either find what you're looking for or at least find a route or something before Ebb's distraction no longer becomes a distraction. And getting in here may have been easy, but getting out might be more difficult.
Perfect. Yeah. Galileo, lead the way. Take us to the brooms, little buddy.
Let's, your familiar is obviously going to listen to you. Your other friend, however, might be a little bit more curious since he's with you. So go ahead and also roll a charm as Galileo gets off your shoulder to flap down the way to help guide you. Let's see what Fred is doing. So go ahead and roll a DC. Let's say it's a DC 6.
Got an 11.
Okay. You can kind of feel Galileo doing that thing where he like unhooks his claws and then hooks his claws back in, but you can feel his wings expand as if he's about to lift off.
Frederick, wait for it. If you wait for it, not only will you get magical brooms and other things in the room, I will find you a squirrel or a fish. It'll be so worth it. Just stay with me, buddy. We got a heist. We got to do it. We got to do our part.
He kind of just flaps his wings almost in like frustration a couple of times, and like the sharp claw at the end of his wing kind of scratches your ear, and then and then he puts his wings back down.
At some point, we are going to find less painful ways for you to express your feelings, but for now, carry on.
Galileo leads you down these stairs and leads you basically to, it's not a door, but it's an archway that leads into what can only be described as a underground tomb.
Wow.
It is nothing but bricks and stone on the ceiling, on the walls, on the floor. It's damp and cold down here, and you can clearly see that there are huge stone tombs down here.
Oh no.
Yep.
Are there brooms?
I will say you can look around the room and see if you can find some place that they would keep brooms. However, it is still dark in here. It's just those things are easy to see. I'm going to say that you're going to have to find some sort of light.
Could I summon light with magic?
Yes.
Is that like a brains roll?
Depends on what you'd like to do. If you want to use brains to try and figure out if you can make a makeshift torch or something.
Can I? Because I also still want to kind of be sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
So could I do a brains magic to try and grow glow in the dark lichen?
Yeah.
Because maybe that just grows here normally. And definitely doesn't mean someone was in here sneaking around.
Okay. I'll say you can do charm or brains there.
Oh, charm it is. That is another 11.
Okay.
These are good dice. They can stay.
Since you are using what's already down here, this is a damp area, so there are definitely plants and things that are growing between the cracks of the walls and things like that. So you simply kind of call to lichen to have it grow so that it can light a little bit more. And so it does. You can see it growing up from the cracks in the foundation over some of the tombs and growing down the other side, growing up the walls, and the space becomes illuminated. You don't see like a cage or a lockbox or anything like that, you do see that there is another area in like the far back right of this catacomb room, and it's another like entrance, but the entrance has bars. But you'd have to go up to it to kind of see what's behind them.
Yeah, I'll do that. I've chosen my grave. I'll lie in it.
You make your way to the gate. Again, lichen kind of follows you, and so it grows over the entrance, grows over the gate, grows under like the little gate that you're standing in front of, so that you can see inside of this space. And it is essentially a medieval storage space. So yes, you do see on like leaning on the far right of this room are a bunch of brooms, not just yours. There's several, and they're all tagged with like, you know, a little Sharpie marker that has like a little tag on it, and then they've been like clipped to it. So they all have like a little tag of whoever they got confiscated from. There's a whole bunch of stuff on some shelves. And so it's full of stuff. And then you have this gate, and then you can kind of see inside as best you can. But I will say that since it's lit, you don't see like a keyhole or anything. Like you don't know how to open the gate.
So it doesn't just, conveniently push open when I lean against it.
It does not.
Darn it. Hey, Fred, buddy. Can you squeeze through the bars? There's so many snacks in there for you.
Go ahead and make a charm roll. DC's gonna be 6.
That's a 9. 10 with my +1.
You feel excitement from Fred.
Oh no.
As he kind of like, flaps his wings again, because he was doing it earlier because he wanted to go, but now he's excited because you're giving him permission. And so again, he kind of does that movement of hooking his claws and unhooking his claws and like shifting his feet in excitement, ready to like hear you say that he can go.
All right, buddy. Go into that room. Definitely eat my broom and Hayden's broom. And then anything else that you want to eat in there, you can eat. But you have to give Hayden mine back at some point.
It lifts off your shoulder and it flaps its wings, and just as it gets to the gate. So these are not like prison gates. They are old school medieval gates. So they are both vertical and horizontal bars. So they're squares.
Ugh.
As he gets close to the gate, again, he's invisible, but he's just visible enough for a split second for you to see that shine and shimmer of that silver as he basically changes his form kind of back into an eel squid, not an eel squid thing, but an eel like silverfish thing, except for this thing has wings, and he's able to like elongate his worm body and just slip through one of the square holes. And just for a second, you see that shimmer of this creature doing that, and then he's on the other side and he's invisible again. But you hear him and you can kind of see him rummaging around. He's eaten literally everything. I'm going to roll
I'm
a
so proud of
D.
you, Fred.
There's a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to roll a D20.
Oh my god.
To see how much. I wish I had a D100. There's a lot of stuff in here, but we're going to just roll a D20 and see how much stuff. Okay. So before he even gets to your, in fact, I'm going to say he kind of immediately forgot your instructions. And
Fred.
what he mainly remembered is that he could eat whatever he wanted.
Fair.
So he's fully demolishing full shelves. He's eating, and so he eats at least 11 items that you can't even see, and you don't know what they are. Like he consumes them. He's just rummaging around, but he's taking too long. As Ebb, your timer begins to run out.
Oh, I plan to elongate that timer.
Gia, while this is all happening and you're trying to get Fred's attention to focus,
Yes.
Ebb, your brother, comes around the corner. You are still locked in this cute off gaze with this terrifying woman who is absolutely enamored with you. And she's this whole time, she's just been kind of telling, like, keeping, like, kind of trying to console you, but all of the things she says are like terrifying. Just like,
it's just like home.
It really is, yes. This woman reminds you so much of like one of your aunties.
Yeah.
She's just like, you're so sweet. Have you ever had toast soup? I make a mean toast soup. I give you some. Do you want some? And she's like rummaging through her lunch bag. And she's like, let me give you some candy, sweetheart. As your brother comes up, he goes, Ebb, what are you looking for? Hi, Miss. Let's call her Sveta. Hi, Miss Sveta. I'm sorry. I didn't know she was looking for me. He kind of looks at you. You could just come find me. You don't have to bother people.
I didn't know where you were, and so I had to come here because it's the fastest way to find you. Its camp is so big, and I'm so small.
He kind of looks at you like, really? You're gonna need to do a charm to see if he can catch this fakeness. And I think since he's your brother, DC is gonna be pretty high.
Okay.
It's gonna be. Let's make it a 9.
Okay. Oh, that's real good. And +1, I think, for me being cute. Yep. So that's a 15.
Before he can even like say something like, come on now, he gets a look from Miss Feta, who just glares daggers at him, and she's just like, you will be nice to her. She has been crying here all day. You'll take care of her. Come here. And he kind of just sighs and goes over to her. And he's gonna, listen to whatever you need and or whatever you
actually, can I do something with that charm roll?
Sure.
What I really want to do is I want to piss my brother off real bad. So and maybe he'll grab me real rough or something. Like, you know how your little sibling just knows exactly the face to make you just so angry that she's getting away with all of this bullshit? Yep. I would never get away with this bullshit, but she's getting away with this bullshit. Yeah, I want to make that face at him where she can't see it and just see if I can get him to just like lunge at me or something.
I think your charm is very high, so I will let you definitely make that face and he will have a reaction. However, I think is going to probably be very afraid of this woman. So what I'm gonna do is have her also roll her charm. So it'll be double charm on him. And I think the DC will be pretty high for you, or pretty high for him, to not be basically intimidated by her hovering over you. So let's see. I think the DC is going to be DC is going to be 4 because she doesn't have a lot of charm. She also has a DC 4. Let's roll. Oh, but she explodes.
No.
So, okay. So he kind of walks over reluctantly, kind of looking a little annoyed, but like keeping it to himself. And then you kind of give him that look, and he kind of begins to like seethe. And you said he has spines.
Yes, he's a lionfish, so he's got poisonous spines as well.
Just out of that just like pure absolute annoyance, they kind of almost like plumage, like a couple of spines kind of like shut out, almost as if he can't really control it because he's so annoyed. And it's an intimidation tactic, but he does it towards you. And when she sees this, she stands up. And at this point, when she stands, even though she was a normal height, she is now like towering over you and him. And as that happens, his spines deflate and he kind of looks really nervous. And she just simply goes, now, no fighting. And she pats you on the head.
Okay.
While that's happening.
Yep, go for it.
Gia, what are you doing?
No, Fred, no. Okay, yeah, you can eat all of it. Just the brooms first, please. Fred, the brooms. Frederick, please.
Now, I don't think you all paid attention to this because you haven't learned anything about this creature.
Correct.
But as he continues to consume these items, he is getting bigger. Like chunkier. He's chunkier. Now, you can't see this, but you can kind of tell that like as he's moving around, the shimmers, he's getting like clunkier. So when you like get his attention and you're like, the brooms, you can literally hear the heavy flapping of his wings.
No.
As he goes over to the brooms. And I think here you're going to need another charm roll for him to actually be able to tell the difference between the two brooms, or for you to communicate the difference between the two brooms, or those two brooms with other brooms. I think the charm here is going to be, I mean, he's already pretty charmed, but I think it's going to be a 7.
That's a 9.
Okay. You're able to tell him that he's only supposed to get 2, and you kind of show him the 2 that he's supposed to get, and he does devour them and leaves the other ones. They're all like stacked up next to each other, so the other ones fall over. But that whole room's a mess now. But he does have your brooms, and he's eaten, what did I say, 11 items.
God. Okay, Fred, come back. You're not gonna fit through the bars again, buddy. Come on. Well, we can come back here anytime for a snack. Just let's go now.
You hear the heavy flapping as he gets closer to the bars, and right when he's in the front of the bars, you hear a and I need you to make a flight roll.
No.
DC's gonna be, I'm gonna say 10 actually, because I don't think you know what's going on.
Dice can explode. Ooh, that's a 7. And I have no adversity token.
You hear him making this noise, and then all of a sudden, before you can really move completely out of the way, there is a splat of this dark, like clear/green viscous fluid that comes out of his body and coats the bars. And it also, I'm gonna say, gets on a little bit of your arm and maybe your like left leg. And within seconds, you can feel it eating through your skin.
Oh no.
as the bars also begin to eat away.
Oh, can I would like to get that off of me.
Sure.
I've got like snacks and water in my backpack. Is this a thing I could just like water bottle off?
You can try.
I would like to try.
Okay. As you rummage through your backpack and try to pull stuff out and pour it on what you can, make a brains roll. DC is going to be 6.
Okay.
As the gate kind of disintegrates and he's able to fly through.
That's a 7.
Okay. Yeah, you know, based on this stuff, I mean, you assume it's acid, like bile acid. So based on what you know about animals and human flesh, just trying to get it off you as soon as possible, but also somehow like deactivating the acid on your skin. So if you have like talcum powder or something like that, that would also help.
I have a first aid kit. Would there be something in there?
You can say there is. You know animals, so maybe you might be prepared for that. So yeah, you're dealing with your whole thing real quick.
Disgusting.
I will say though that it still is able to eat through, like give you at least a bit of a heat rash, and so you're not going to take any damage, but that's going to be noticeable and it's going to be sore, and you're probably going to need to wrap it and get some medical attention.
You know, you're a real painful new pet, buddy.
As he comes through the gate and you can see again that shimmer between invisibility and silver, he is 4 times as fat as he was before, and he's gonna try to land on your shoulder.
Oh,
Galileo is like kind of eyeing him and eyeing you and then eyeing him. Galileo looks worried. He's like,
oh God. Buddy, is there any way I can convince you to like not maybe just like in the, well, no, I don't want you eating every, all right, fine. Just don't dig in, okay?
He settles on your shoulder. He is easily 3 times as heavy, and he was already quite heavy. And because it's just your shoulder, so now because he's so big, he doesn't sit as well as he did. He fully digs in and like hooks like underneath, so now you are definitely bleeding, so that he doesn't fall off.
Can you just like elongate yourself again and like wrap yourself around my shoulders, like go scarf mode, dude?
I don't think he is able to do that in his condition. But I'll say that he tries by kind of like having his small, like he has a bit of a stub tail. He elongates that and it wraps around your neck.
Oh God, no. Bad Fred, no. Please, God. Frederick.
You now have Fred and your brooms and many other items.
Okay, is there only one entrance and exit to this place?
Yes. You're gonna have to go back out the way you came.
Okay, we're gonna go, Fred. Can you not choke me? That's all I'm asking. I feel like that's a reasonable ask, buddy.
His tail is fairly loose.
Okay. Up we go. Out of the place we're not supposed to be.
Galileo leads you back out after you get out of the lichen area. You get back up the stairs. You are now at the door. You can try to slip back out, but this time, you're not going to be able to look out probably, but you can try your best. So that's going to be a flight roll. And I think because you can't see anything and you have this huge thing on your shoulder,
at least 30 pounds heavier.
Yes. think your DC is going to be like 10.
Okay, yeah, dice can explode. We've got this.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 9.
Okay.
And you know what? I am determined to have this work, so I'm going to spend the 1 adversity token I just got to make it a
10. Okay. Ebb, you and this woman who you now know as Miss Sveta are standing/sitting on this desk. Your brother has his arms folded and he's trying his hardest not to roll his eyes as she just talks about how amazing you are and how sweet you are and how cute you are and that he needs to be taking better care of you. And he's just kind of like, wow. So, okay, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here right now, except to just get berated for no reason. And you're kind of looking past him as you see Gia slip back into the main room, and you guys are able to make eye contact as Gia, you are able to make your way out of the main area.
Oh, awesome. So I didn't even have to shoot off my gross. That's awesome. Okay.
Oh my God.
So, I'm going to see her doing that, and I'm going to try and wrap this up now. I'm going to say, yeah, you should be a good brother to me. Okay, now will you help me try and find Fred? He's lost. I can't find him. He's my favorite Stuffy.
Your brother does a huge eye roll because he just can't keep it in anymore. He's like, you called me so that I could find your stuffed animal?
It's Fred. He's been with me since I was little.
Sveta goes, oh, you poor sweetheart. I remember my first animal. George, I called him. He's of course dead now, but I still have him.
Too. He used to be a pirate, but now he's just a skull.
She opens one of her drawers and she goes, I tell you what, I give you a gift, and perhaps this could be a new Fred for you.
Really? Yes, please.
She pulls something out of her desk that is wrapped. It is about the size of like a huge canister, like a big canister, and it's like kind of round like one and tall. And she unwraps it, and it is a Russian nesting doll. It's the large one. It is clearly beautifully hand painted, but very old. And instead of the opening being where like the center of the belly would be, it is where the mouth is. And it certainly has a look to it. Its eyes are so lifelike. They seem to be staring at you. And she goes, this is a very special toy. My grandfather made it for me, and it's been in my family for centuries. But she hands it to you. I think she would make a good companion for you.
I will take such good care of her and feed her all the things she could eat.
She smiles wide. She is ravenous. And then she looks at your brother. All right, everyone go now. Come back and visit. And she pops you off her desk and once again pats you on your head.
Thank you. And I'm going to just kind of skip out with my cool creepy doll. But I'm not going to put the creepy doll anywhere near Sploop because we've learned our lesson that these things eat other things, and we're not going to let it eat all of my things.
You skip out as your brother kind of like just watches you, like literally, like seriously. She just got like a really cool toy, and I just been berated for like 20. Okay, well, guess I'll go back to work. And so he just kind of like,
love you.
Jeez. And so he kind of leaves, does what he does. You're able to skip out of the room and back. And I'll say that Gia and Ebb, you guys meet outside. At this point, Ebb, if we were in person, I would slide over to you a card.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
so real quick. Real quick. Boop. A little explanation for everybody. I know I talked about it last time, but now I actually have some stuff. But we have cards in this game, in this Kids Campin game, where players may draw or be assigned hex, curse, and boon cards. For the game that we're playing, players will be assigned cards. And each is representing a magical effect that influences the story. And then every card type has 3 levels that stack as intensity grows. So the higher level basically has a deeper impact, but you can get a card at any level to begin with. You don't have to get a level 1 and then a level 2. You can get any level at any time. And it's kind of GM's discretion based on what's happening in the story. So for last session, or 2 sessions ago, I think, Juni got a card, and she got a curse card. And so this is just a little bit about curse cards. And Ebb, you have received a boon card.
Oh.
In fact, you rolled so well, surprisingly, and became such a great friend and to Miss Feta that you have a level 3 boon card.
Whoa.
Amazing.
Boon cards are rare gifts. They're either flickers of fortune, some sort of divine favor, or unexpected luck. They are sometimes a reward, sometimes a cosmic accident, but there's always a break in like darkness is the whole point. And there are 3 levels, obviously, and yours has been a level 3. Before our next session, I will send you the details of your card. These cards are for the players to know themselves. So other than us understanding that someone has been given a card, the other players don't actually know what that card entails. Gia and Ebb, you guys are outside and you reconvene.
Did you get your brooms?
We got those and also some other things, and Fred weighs like 50 pounds now.
Oh, yes, he's a very full boy now. What a good friend. I got this awesome doll.
Oh, it's really creepy.
Yeah.
Gia, roll a grit. DC is 10.
No.
No.
You know, it's a dirty 4.
34. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Ebb shows you this really exquisitely like crafted nesting doll, and it's kind of large. Like she has to hold it with both of her hands. And as you kind of look at it and you're like, oh yeah, that is kind of cool. Its eyes, you could have sworn its eyes shift to look at you and then kind of shift to look back again. But you feel like the area where you're supposed to open the nesting doll, which is for this one at the mouth, you feel like it's like smiling at you.
Oh.
And there's a feeling of excitement at the fact that this thing seems to be looking favorably at you. And now you're like, actually, it's kind of a blessing that Fred is like absolutely ruining your shoulder. It's going to heal. this is actually pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
You both feel amazing.
Oh my god, now we're high.
Yay! We did it! I think that's like camp rules now. Like, I think each of us has to do it, because isn't that like a thing that adults do when they're camping?
I think so. I'm like 90% sure that's all camping is for adults.
That makes so much sense. Why else would you go out into the woods for no reason?
Right. Like, usually it's to catch something interesting, but if you're just doing it for fun, then...
Definitely, they're just getting high all the time. Man, this makes adults make a lot more sense.
It really does. Yeah.
I'll say you two are walking and talking as you have this conversation. Where would you all try to meet up?
What?
What time of day is it? Yeah.
Where are we? What time is it?
I'm gonna say.
What's our name?
I'm gonna say you all either like missed your early afternoon classes and lunch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's been quite some time.
It's late afternoon then?
It was the early morning when we went in there.
Yeah.
Wait. What is I'm not missing anything. They can miss it. I'm a good kid. All right. Want to go to my class? Eat breakfast. Stick in the maze.
Okay, I only had downtime and dinner. It's fine.
I'll say that if you had an activity, Hayden and Juni, if you guys had an activity after class, you can go to your next class. I'm gonna say Gia and Ebb, you missed your next class.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
So early morning and late morning are finished.
First objects class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Unfortunately, I've missed chimeric creature care, which I feel like maybe I should have gone to.
Nah, you don't need to learn anything about this creature.
That being said, can I like, is this a loophole?
I think you certainly have used Fred a lot today. Let's see if you learned anything. What would you want to? What does it beef up? Chimeric creature.
Chimeric creature care is charm.
Okay. Yes, definitely.
Yes. So what does that mean? Do I like?
You're gonna make a mark.
Okay.
For going to the class.
Cool.
But you didn't go to the class, but you still get a mark.
Amazing. It's just practical class. Mm-hmm. I did field work instead of lab work.
Do I get a mark? Because I definitely facilitated the stealing of some cursed objects for sure.
You certainly did something. I would allow you to take a mark in charm.
Okay.
Yeah. Hayden and Juni, what were your classes?
I have a brief question about that. Should I mark one of the classes I have that has to do with charm as if I went to it?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Juni's class is illusionist improv for her early afternoon class.
Oh, that's with Van Glow, I'm assuming. Yeah, really debating taking back my words.
It's him, bro. He can't kill you that way. Probably.
I know. I have a 20 in charm. I really should just go.
Hayden, what is your next class?
Following my late morning would have been astral navigation, and then early afternoon it's lunch.
Okay. So astral navigation. What is that stat?
That would have been brains.
Oh, okay. Then let's do this. Juni, let's say that when you go to class, Mr. Van Glow is actually late. He's covered in sand. But he's ready for his class. He's just covered in sand. And so go ahead and roll a brains roll. Oh, no. A charm. We'll say the DC is 6, just to kind of see how your day goes. Or your class goes. If you're saying something, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I was making sure this is my early afternoon class. I have another class for the late afternoon one. I rolled a.
I think it's your late morning class.
Late morning, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Late morning was breakfast. Early afternoon is illusionist improv. Because I thought it was late afternoon by this time.
Yeah, it's late afternoon.
Okay, and late afternoon I have phantom fencing again. Have fun. So illusionist improv, I rolled a 15 + 1 for 16.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that class is essentially Mr. Van Glow is having you all go through the class as mentors. And so I'm going to say that you were able to make a lot of, again, more new friends who all think you're really cool and really interesting, but also really love hearing all of your interesting stories about where you come from and stuff like that. And you do very, very good in the class. So we'll say that you have completed class for that day.
I love my life.
Hayden, what was, you said you went to brains. So that'd be Dr. Zebulon. I think for this class, because it's projection, you guys aren't going to be in like his lab. You're most likely going to be somewhere on campus. But unfortunately, I'm going to say that class is actually very, very boring. And I'm going to say that you don't really learn much new. He kind of goes over a lot of like chemistry and like things that are important for, going through dimensions and going through different spaces. And he also kind of talks down to like dream walking as well as like highly unscientific and way too loosey-goosey. And so that is that class. And so you learn a lot about like the theoretical aspect of the class, but you don't do any practice. And so you don't love it, but you still learned and you still went.
I'll be honest, nearly kind of dying. He's almost kind of relieved that there's no practical application with it today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so now I'll say you all are able to converge, and then we will close out the session when you all come together.
Yeah, we need to go dunk Ebb in the river to replenish some of that water. She's been
right for
4 hours.
I mean, good on Ebb for being able to keep that ruse up that long. She never self-relieved.
That's impressive.
I just imagine Ebb looks like SpongeBob in that one episode where he's like, water! I need it! Yeah, I think we all just, okay, I'm trying to figure out on the map, would we have just like converged on like one of the roads, probably meeting up as Ebb and them make their way to the tent or wherever you guys are going.
I have a question. Yeah. Is this like thing at the bottom, like near B, is that a river or a road?
Near B, that is a little river, like a little creek.
Can we go there? I'm so thirsty.
That's up to y'all.
I think that's fair. We can go there.
Just gonna like lay down in the bank of it. Be like, this is great.
Rehydrate. Some first aid on myself while she rehydrates.
You all gather together for whenever. I'll say that it's like obviously late afternoon, but you guys can hear the bells toll as the time changes. And you can also hear all the campers moving around, going to their next activity, going to, they're leaving lunch, going to dinner, things like that. And so you guys have a couple of moments to recoup before you disperse again for the night.
Hey, Hayden, great news.
Just kind of looks over at you, like clearly still out of it. Still kind of a little bit shell-shocked. It's like, what the hell happened to the both of you?
Okay.
Great things. Awesome things.
What happens isn't important. The result, however, is that tonight, when we are safe in the tent, Fred has a gift for you. Don't panic. It's just your broom. We got our brooms back. As she looks a little bit manic, is like she's definitely still got like a bloody shoulder and like an acid hole in her pants.
Her eyes are so wide. Be proud of me.
She's like, but we got the brooms.
We got the brooms.
I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask how. If I ask how, that means they can question me later.
Fair point.
Thank you for putting it back.
You're so welcome. Think this is step one in Fred's apology for eating a couple $100 worth of food that you bought.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say he didn't mean it, but he definitely did mean it. But he's gonna work that off.
How are you guys? You both look like maybe somebody died.
Oh, not again. Who died?
Not died, but a couple of kids came pretty darn close.
Yeah. Magical sparring is dangerous.
And you're just okay with that?
I grew up with a mom who has 2 pet eels that sing and curse people, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real, Juni. I've been around really dangerous creatures my entire life, so this is actually less life-threatening than 5 out of 7 days of my week.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Mm-hmm. I am actually on vacation.
Juni's just looking really concerned. She's like, that's not normal.
Oh. At least I can say most likely most of you have never nearly drowned underground.
An underground.
You can drown in ground?
I mean, Local terms of person buried alive. I do. Just kind of shakes it over there. I don't want to think about it.
I think Juni just comes over and puts a hand on Hayden's shoulder. Agreed. I feel you. And she looks at she does a double check over to Gia again, and she was like, "You're hurt."
Yes, I am.
You need to go to the nurse. And she grabs your hand.
No.
She grabs your hand and she starts dragging. You need to go.
You
need medical attention.
It's fine.
That's not enough. You have 3rd-degree burns.
They're not that bad.
Oh my God. Some normalcy, please.
Ebb, do you show everyone your new doll?
I wasn't gonna right at this second because I was more concerned about getting a really thick reed to remake a blowgun out of because my blowgun got eaten.
Oh my God. Priorities, people. You need a blowgun.
I need it for my spikes. I have my poison spikes back, but I don't have my blowgun. So I need to make a new one. And we're at this river, so no, I don't. I'm looking for the perfect blowgun reed.
Okay. What are you guys doing next?
It sounds like I'm being dragged to the nurse against my will.
I'm dragging Gia to the nurse, and it's also on the way to my next class. Juni's like, I'm not being late. Clearly, I need to learn how to fight. I can't afford to miss this class.
Oh, are you
Don't get eaten by the nurse.
Are you doing phantom fencing too?
Oh God.
I promise I won't. I can't promise that.
You need to see the nurse first.
Oh, is this you trying to get out of phantom fencing with me?
No, it's not. Yes. I'm on my way, phantom fencing. You are bleeding.
It's, I mean, it's fine.
No! Not accepting it as she talks about the dangers of letting a wound fester while she drags you to the nurse's tent.
We could probably do some magic about it.
I think that sounds like a charm roll. Charm against charm. Let's see who wins.
No.
Gia or Juni?
Oh, I'm going to the nurse.
Oh no.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
What'd you get?
I got a 10.
That's so wonderful. I got a 20, which explodes.
Damn it.
Wow.
28.
All right, I'm going to the nurse.
Maybe don't bring Fred in with you.
Oh, Fred, can you? Oh God, Fred, what are we gonna do with you?
Judy looks at Fred and she's like, "Fred, down, stay, be good."
Fred unhooks from Gia's shoulder and, goes somewhere to sit and wait.
Good boy. As he finishes tracking Gia away.
Oh, God. Fred, follow us, but don't eat anything.
No, stay. No. Stay with Ebb. I'm using my charm roll against Fred. Stay with Ebb.
I'm going to say with such a high roll, and it was contested. Gia. Yep. I'm going to say that, yes, Fred listens fully to Juni, and he is going to attempt to sit on Ebb's shoulder.
Yay!
Oh, great. You just murdered Ebb. Good job, Juni.
So privileged.
Ebb will be fine.
Fred weighs as much as Ebb does now. Maybe more.
Okay, well, Ebb was in a tiny little necklace. I'm sure with magic, as everybody says here, it'll be fine. But you need to be helped practically.
I will die in a blaze of glory.
That Ebb says that as you can just see the shimmer of this huge beast descend, trying to sit on Ebb's shoulder, and Gia and Juni are whisked away as Juni's pulling Gia to the nurse's tent. Hayden, what are you doing as you watch all this?
This would be going into late afternoon, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's kind of watching, just mildly amused. For kind of adjusting his backpack because he's heading over to runic coding.
Oh, have fun.
In the distance, I'll remember that you didn't help me, Hayden.
Hayden.
You all disperse. Gia and Juni heading to the nurse's office. Hayden heading to his class. After the nurse's office, Juni plans to go to her class. And Ebb, you have found yourself the perfect read. And you now have an extra big friend with you. I'll say go ahead and roll a grit to see what's going on with this creature. DC, I think, is going to be a 10. He is huge now.
This will go great. Things can explode. That's a thing that can happen. Go down. Okay. Oh, it's a 7. It's a 7. Because I didn't do magic about it.
This creature, just as it has done many times before to Gia, sits on your shoulder, but it doesn't really fit. So it's like trying to, every time it, that's exactly what it feels like. Every time it settles.
I have an idea. Here, you put one foot on this shoulder and the other foot on this shoulder. I think you're big enough.
Okay. I'm going to say we're going to go off of your current role as you give it that instruction. And it doesn't quite understand how to do that, even though it is trying to get its footing. And so it actually tries to land on your head.
Okay. That's fair.
And so it's able to perch there, but it is going to kind of dig into your scalp with its talons.
That's okay. There are spikes up there.
And so you actually are able to have this creature on your head. Juni and Gia are headed to the nurse's office. Hayden is headed to class. And I think that is where we will end for today and pick up the rest of day 2. Next session, which is just hilarious to me. But I think that is it for today. Thank you all, as usual, for playing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this fun adventure. And we will see you all next time. I'm going to roll the outro, and as usual, you guys can roll out at any time.
Bye.
So bye-bye.
Bye.